Hi everyone, Barry here from Mitosu Crafts. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for joining me for episode 5 of our Funfold Friday series. Bit of a tongue twister there. So again, we are playing with the sweet ice cream stamp set mixed with the ice cream corner designer series paper, which is this is the pattern which I'm going to be using today, and with the amazing ice cream cone builder punch, which pairs with this stamp set. So that's what I'm going to be using. So I'm going to be doing a fun fold card. And yeah, let's crack on, show you what we're going to do, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. So I've got myself some rich raspberry cardstock here. So I need to make this into a 6x6. Okay, so depending on how your paper is, if you're UK size A4, your width is good. So cut it on the long lengthways at 6 inch, and then turn it round onto the long edge, and then cut this at 6 inches again. And this part is suitable for something that is suitable for the mechanism later on. Save this part. This is good. If you haven't got this part here, I'll go through the measurements with that one in a second for you. But first things first, you just need a 6x6 piece of cardstock, so rich raspberry. I want you to score this here at 3 inches. Rotate it round again and score at 3 inches. All right, and then what we want to do is we want to then score from this corner to this corner right here. So just line that score line up on that one, line it up down here and there, and then we will then score that one there, and the same on the opposite side. So score line to score line, and then fold that. What you need to do is we need to cut this one here. So I'm going to then pop this in. So this is the top part of the card right here. So where you just done your score, and we need to cut this line here. So we'll line this up at 3 inches and bring our blade in, and we're just going to cut up to the first score line. And that's that. Okay, so you've got those 2 squares at the top there, which are your diagonal score lines in it, 2 plain squares down here with the cut line going down the middle. Pop that to one side. Okay, this bit here, which is your offcut, this needs to be 2 3/8 of an inch, or if you've got the offcut it here, it's actually 2, and it's actually, I would say make it 2 3/8 of an inch, but if you're using the offcut, then it's just slightly bigger than 2 3/8, so it's not an issue. But 2 3/8 is where you need it to be, because we're going to be die cutting anyway. It's just so we get the best out of our bit of paper. So use this one here, and then we want to then cut this at 4.5 inches. So it's 2 3/8 by 4.5 for your offcut. And I want you to then score this at 2 1/4. And also 1 1/8 of an inch. So that was 4.5 by 2 3/8, scored at 1 1/8 of an inch and 2 1/4 inches. Okay. And that's, pop that part to one side there as well. I'm going to grab myself some designer series paper. So I'm going to be using it this side here. I'm going to be using both sides. So I want to cut this at 2 3/4 inches. So I just want to cut one strip off at 2 3/4 inches. So we've got this one here. I need one which is measuring 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I want that to be this particular side here. So I'm just going to take that to 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and that's going to be one layer which we've got. And then you need 2 pieces measuring 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. So I've cut it larger to start off with, to then be able to then cut it down a little bit. So we're going to cut this at 2 5/8. So we've got So 2 5/8, and then we can then just take off that little sliver, which is on this side here. And then we do the same 2 5/8. And by 2 5/8. And there we have it. Okay, so that's another bit. So you've got another piece there which will measure 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 if you want to make any more cards. That part there will fit at least fit the first square. So good, so that's those pieces. Then what I want you to do is I want you to then cut these ones here diagonally. So we need to think about this. So these are going to be going on, let's just move my trimmer out of the way and just show you what I mean. So we've got this part here, the 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, which is going to go down here like this. And we're going to have these two pieces which are going to go here like this. But I want to have the reverse side on the bottom part. So I need to make sure I cut this way and this way. So again, just think about how you're going to be cutting this. Again, the reason I'm emphasizing this to you is because I have already made that mistake. And yeah, so just be aware of that one. So bring this one in. So I need to know I'm cutting from this one to this one and this one to this one here. So I just want to cut those diagonally. So again, line up corner to corner in the middle. Now when you're cutting corner bits, what a little tip for you is here, start with your blade in the middle and then cut out and then out. Then you won't damage the corners too much. If you start here and then you bring it up, you run the risk of damaging or pushing the corners in. So just bring the blade into the middle and then start trimming. Okay, and then we know that it was going to be from this one to this one here for the opposite side. Which is that one there. Perfect. Good. So I'm going to bring this in here. So that one and that one there, and then that one and that one like so. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and stick these pieces down right now in that position. Okay, so there we have the first part done, ready for you like that. So that's all getting ready and stuck up. I'm just going to go and use the bone folder here just to push down some of the edges. So if you get some raised bits when you've been cutting, then just use your bone folder just to push them down. It just helps smooth them out a little bit. So good. So that's that one. This part here is going to go on this one. So now I'm going to be using some magnets. I've got some magnets for this one here to help this close. If you have magnets, great. If you don't, then you'll just need to just stick it down and then it will and then just fold it closed. It will still work. A little bit of glue, a little bit of the Tombow. If you pop it down, allow it to go tacky, it then acts as a two-way glue as well, so it then doesn't stick, it then just becomes tacky, so you could always do it that way. But if you have some magnets, grab some of these. So these are just some tiny, very thin magnets, which I've got, which I brought off the internet. I think off eBay, I think I got these off of. I will see if I can remember, if I dig out who I actually got them from, and they weren't expensive either. So you've got two here. And the way I'm going to attach this down is I'm going to use some glue dots. So I'm just going to pop a glue dot on the back of one of these. And I'm going to stick this right there. Okay, so you can either stick this down flat down, and then you'll have like a little knobbly part where the magnet is, or you can go ahead and you can use some dimensionals. I'm going to use some dimensionals on this, and I'm just going to go around, and I'm using the pattern which doesn't really matter what orientation it is. So I'm just doing that one like that, because if I use the other side when it folds flat, because it's going to be at a bit of an angle, it's going to look a little bit odd. So again, just think of just be aware of your pattern when you're actually doing it, to make sure everything looks okay once it's all folded. Because obviously as you're looking at it like this, yeah, it looks fine, but once it's folded it won't. So just be aware of that one. So I'm just going to then stick this on over here like that. Obviously, just avoided that magnet, like so. Good. All right, so we will come back to that other magnet in a second. Actually, I can do, whilst I've got it here, I will just pop the magnet on the back. Just if you are using magnets, stick the first one down and then stick the second one down, let it magnetize itself to it, and then we will then come back to that one in a second. Okay, so what we will do now is we're going to do some stamping. So we have got the cone. So I'm just going to use the cone here. And I'm going to be using cinnamon cider for my cone. First generation cinnamon cider for this one. Which is there. And I'm just going to use the hatch markings, the little crosses right here, just to give it a little bit of texture as well. So pop that in the middle, like that. Good. And I'm going to then just punch this out. So we will be doing a little bit of die cutting, but obviously this stamp set is a punch only, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of fussy cutting for the other look, for the lolly. So that's that one, and then I am going to then do some stamping using the ice cream scoop. I'm going to do this in Bermuda Bay. This is one of the coordinating colours with the Ice Cream Corner Designer Series paper. Again, just have a little think about how this is going to go in my punch and where I can do it. So that one there. Now I punch this out. How simple is that? It's good. So that's that punch done with now, and I've done with that one as well. So that's those two, and I can just stick these two together. So a little bit of glue on top of the cone, and we'll just attach these and just let them start sticking up and getting ready. Okay, so whilst they are doing that, good. Whilst they're doing that, I'm going to then stamp the next part, so which is the actual lolly itself. So I've got myself some rich raspberry ink, and I've got myself some gorgeous grape. So I'm going to do the darker colour for the base of this lolly. And we'll do it like that. And then we will grab the top one, which is this one right here. And then over the top, like that. Okay, so we've got our two-tone lolly here. Let's those bits done. And then I'm going to take my lolly stick, again cinnamon cider, and we'll pop this one down like that. And if you want to add a little bit of dimension, or just want to add a little bit of texture to that lolly, you've got the little detail which goes on the inside. Just gives it a little bit of. Oh, I'm not focusing there. There you go. You can just about see that. It's good. So what we need to do is we need to fussy cut that. So those two are much about the same size, which is perfect, which is what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and fussy cut this one out. Very easy. It's a nice easy shape to fussy cut. Go around. I like to give a little bit of a white border so it matches the other one. I think the art to fussy cutting is a good pair of scissors. So our paper snips are perfect. I love them. They're some of the best scissors I've used. I know there's lots on the market, but these scissors are very, very good. Very, very sharp. So a good pair of scissors will be your friend if you're fussy cutting. All right, so there we have our lolly right there. So good. So I'm going to come back and do, let's give myself a little bit of room here. We're done with that. So I'm going to come back with this part which we had from earlier on, which was the one which was 2 3/4 by 4.5, scored at 2 3/4, and let me just make sure I tell you the correct one, 1 1/8. I'm going to grab myself some of these circle dies, and it's the one which is then going to be the correct size, so it's the same width roughly as that, so it fits that one perfectly. I'm going to fold this in half and give the middle score line a good old fold and burnish, because I don't want this popping up whilst it's in the cutting machine. It's just easier. I'm going to bring in my mini, and what we're going to do is that we're going to cut this with the score line on top. We'll do that, and we want to cut this so that this is the fold part, this side here, so it's opening up like this. Let's just move it out of the way. I want to do it so we've got a little bit of a gap over here. Can you see there's a little bit of it? It's hanging over the edge, so we're gonna create a little bit of a easel. So we're going to pop this in, make sure we can see that gap at the top there. Go around, just need to... And then we'll run that through. Good. And then when we remove that part goes in the bin. And what we've got there is we've now got 2 circles which are now joined together here. So which has created ourselves like a little easel. Then we can then go ahead and then just fold and then burnish that center score line on that circle there. It doesn't match up, but that doesn't matter, that's fine. Good, so that's that one. Going to take a bit of scrap paper again here. So I've got myself a bit of scrap, and I'm going to take my sentiment. So I'm going to go with You're So Cool. I'm going to go with some memento. To make this easy for myself, I'm going to stamp down the bottom corner down here. So I've already got, I can stamp that better. Let's try that again. It's a little bit difficult when you've got a camera in the way. And That's a bit better. Yeah. That's fine. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to, we can either bring our trimmer in to get a perfect line, or we can use our scissors, depending on how easy you find it to cut straight lines. So it's around about 1/2 inch, which is 1.3 millimeters. We can then cut that off there, and then I'm just going to take a sliver off this side, just to give myself a nice little rectangle. If I need to, just tidy this up. If you're wondering why I'm getting furry edges on my cardstock, it's because I need to change my blade, and I haven't got around to doing it yet. So that's all that is. Just need to bring this in a little bit there, just to level that up. Good. So that is going to create and be a stopper. So we're just going to pop some dimensionals on the back of this one right here. So we need 2. And that one will go on there. All right. But first things first, I want to grab this here. This is going to go in at a bit of an angle. Okay. So do I want to do the fold of the card first? Yeah, let's do the fold of the card first, and then we'll finish that one up. So we want to now fold this in on itself here. Fold and burnish. Fold it over on itself like that. Okay, and then fold these ones back on itself. Now, I'm not actually sure what the fold of this card is. I should have actually checked that part out. I will obviously make sure by the time it will be in the title, so I would have worked it out by the time we get to doing this. And that's that. And then that's going to go over and connect it like this. So without the magnet, it just opens up. So you, again, use some 2-way Tombow glue, and that will help stick that down. Or we use the magnets. So we've already got the magnet underneath, so we're going to use the magnet here again. So I'm going to pop a little bit of a glue dot on the back of that one there. Okay, then we fold it closed, and then we stick it down, and that is now attached. So then when we release, that magnet stays down here, that magnet is there, and it's done. So it just comes over and it clicks together. All right, so that's how you do the magnet. So good, so that's that one. We will pop some glue on the base of this one right here. And we'll stick that down so that line looks parallel with that corner. Good. We will take our ice creams we've done from earlier on. We want to stick these in, but again, we want to make sure that they don't go over this fold line here. So a little bit of glue on the bottom part of this. Don't want to go on the top part because it will then stick the whole thing down. So we'll pop one in at an angle like that. Same on this one right here. So just a little bit kind of like down on the corner and on the stick. Is all we need. So this card was actually inspired. Obviously, it's been around for a while. It's nothing new. It's new for me. I've never made it, but we actually had a swap given to us a couple of years ago now, One of the great things about being a demonstrator is you when you go to events, you get to swap card ideas with other demonstrators. And we picked up one. I'm going to show you the original in a moment. We picked up one from Jill Moore from Two Big Girls Crafting, and I've had it for years. Thinking to myself, I need to make that card eventually, and I finally got around to doing it. So Jill, if you're watching, thank you very much for that swap, because it was great. Just need to, it'll be easier if I do this with it flat. And then pop that in. You want to make sure that you pop it up so high that when the mechanism pings back, it stops and catches on it. Because if you do it too far, it's just going to pop itself up. And you want that writing to be, again, parallel with the score line on the corner. And then that stops that one right there. And that's it. So we go over. So we have a card which would be fold up, suitable for postage. It will go through as a large letter in the UK. Obviously this isn't suitable for a normal letter, so it is a little bit chunkier. It is then a 3x3. Okay, so nice and small, and then you open it up, clips into place, fold those two bits back, and then clip up the thing, and there we have a nice fun fold card. So I'm just going to show you, I did another one that was done in Blackberry Bliss. So this one here is a darker colour. So I decided to do Rich Razzleberry, so slightly lighter purple. And I'm going to show you the original here. This one here was from Jill Moore from Two Big Girls Crafting. And this was her card, which we had. Again, no magnet on this one, so this one is just stuck down flat and no pop-up mechanism on this one. But again, you would put a bit of Tombow glue on there. That would work quite nicely. But that was what inspired me. So, Jill, thank you very much for the inspiration. So good. There we have it. There is my Funfold Friday episode 5 card for you. Really, really fun. I love it. I've really enjoyed making this one. It's great. And I hope you have fun making it as well. But if you do make it, please share with us over on our Crafty Stampers Facebook page. So if you're not a member of that already, links can be found down below in the description as well. Ask to join. Come in and post your crafty creations with us. Anything you make can be posted in there to inspire us and our small little group. And there we have it. So good. If you want to, you can pop a bit of plain paper in here, like the original. And this is where you can write your message, or you can do that on the back side. Excellent. Okay, so links to our online shop can be found down below in the description. You can purchase anything you've seen us using today as well. And please remember to use the current host code if you do purchase from us, and that will allow us to send you a little gift next month. Could be a little sample, it could be a few gems, bit of designer series paper, or it could be even a full packet of gems, depending on how much you spend. Okay, if you spend £50 or more, it'll be a full packet of gems, plus you will get some free tutorials from us, and yeah, other little goodies. So check that out over on our website, mitosucrafts.com. Links can be found down below in the description as well. Please remember to give us a thumbs up and like and subscribe to our channel if you've enjoyed what you have seen. But until then, we will be back with you next Friday, same time, same place, with another Funfold Friday. If you've got any ideas or any requests on what you would like to see, please let us know as well. Probably drop us an email, or again, pop it in the Crafty Stampers group. Let us know if there's a particular Funfold you'd like to see me make. And yeah, gives me some ideas to actually have a play as well. There we go. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next Friday. Bye for now. Bye.